In the headlines, 5 political parties obtain court order stopping extension of Naira deadline. Leading presidential candidates woo voters in Katsina, Benue and Kwara states. Kebbi immigration rescue 3 Libya-bound trafficking victims. And on the foreign scene, death toll hits 4,000 as rescue operations continue in Turkey and Syria. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and on the news in full. Justice Enio Joe Eneche of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, and 27 commercial banks from suspending or interfering with the currency redesigned terminal date on February 10, or issue any directive contrary to the said date. In a motion by 5 political parties, the court also granted an order directing the chief executive officers of the banks to show cause why they should not be arrested and prosecuted for the financial sabotage of the country by illegally holding and not disbursing the new 200 naira, 500 naira and 1000 naira banknotes despite supply of such notes by the central bank. The motion was filed by Action Alliance and 4 other political parties. Kano State governor accused the Central Bank of Nigeria of working with certain elements to stop the possible extension of the February 10 deadline of validation of 3 old Naira notes. Now, Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has expressed concern that elements from the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election are regrouping and are using the current crisis generated by the Naira redesigned policy to undermine Nigeria's democracy. He claimed that these individuals are disguising themselves as unknown political parties and working with the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, to impose an unfeasible cash policy that is affecting the masses. The governor's comment come as a reaction to an interim injunction issued by a federal high court in Abuja, which stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria from extending the 10-day deadline set for the currency swap. In a statement issued by the Commissioner for Information, Muhammad Garba, Ganduje accused the CBN and supporters of the Naira redesign policy of being rigid in the implementation of the harsh and insensitive cash policy, despite the widespread outrage by Nigerians, including the National Assembly and state governors. As Nigerians also spend hours on queues at banks and automated teller machine points in order to get the redesigned Naira notes to cater for their basic needs, prices of foodstuff at a weekly Monday market in Kaduna are crashing. Sellers at the market who are groaning over the situation blame the scarcity of the redesigned Naira notes for all the fall in the price. The report.
Monday Market is a weekly market where sellers from different locations bring their commodities for buying and selling. But with the hardship people go through before accessing the new note and the unavailability of the currency in circulation, the price of basic commodities like foodstuffs is crashing, according to sellers. When cash was available, a measure of beans was sold at 600 naira. But now, because of the scarcity of money, we sell one at 550 naira. With the introduction of the new note, people are rejecting the affected old notes, and price of commodities are crashing as well.
Though we still make sales, but the price has gone down. We now sell 1 bag of maize at the rate of 18 to 20,000. We are still using the old notes because there are no new notes.
Before the introduction of the redesigned note, we sold a bag of beans at the rate of 37 to 38,000 naira. But beans is now sold at 25 to 26,000 naira. The big size of the bag of rice was sold at 62,000, but now it is sold within the range of 56 to 57,000. At 62,000 naira, but now it is sold within the range of 56 to 57,000. Though the customers are delighted that the prices are falling, they are, however, not happy with the scarcity of money in circulation, as it is affecting their purchasing power.
Last week, I bought 600 last week, but now it's 550.
You mean the price has reduced?
Small, but we expect it to come down more because we don't have money.
The price has gone down because of the scarcity of money in circulation.
We are hopeful that the price of the commodities will continue to come down so that with little money, people can buy more. The traders and buyers at Monday Market appeal to the government to make the new Naira notes available so that people can buy foodstuffs and other necessities. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Also, on the redesign policy, Nigerians have continued to groan in pain as the hardship caused by the scarcity of the new Naira notes bite harder. Now, residents of Osun State who stormed commercial banks early on Monday morning lamented that they were unable to withdraw their money, adding that the situation has further aggravated their pains. Hamid Oyegbadi has more.
As early as 6:40 in the morning, residents of Osun State stormed their banks to withdraw money to enable them meet their financial obligations. But their hope was dashed as bank officials told them they could only withdraw 2,000 naira maximum each.
They said they are going to give me 2,000 naira. I took Okada from my house. 500 naira come here. If I want to go back again, 500 naira. And they said they are going to give me 2,000 naira. What am I going to use 2,000 naira for?
Since last week, I don't see anything to eat. There's no money. And I say that you have put money outside new note. But it's difficult to everybody to see the money.
Some of the residents said they are in their need of cash for pressing matters including medical bills and drugs, insisting on collecting their money by all means.
My husband is scheduled for a surgery at the hospital today and we need money for the procedure, but the bank refused to release our money to us. My husband must not die. Pay us now to save his life. The suffering is too much.
As you see me, I'm a retired officer. I have no leg to walk. The problem I got in this changing of money is a problem.
As you can see this morning, you can see crowd here in Wema Bank. You cannot access your money, you cannot collect money, you cannot do transaction. When you do transaction, you have been debited, but you cannot see the debit alert. I will want to advise the federal government to please quickly work on this, because this can surely degenerate to a big problem in this country.
They appealed to federal government to address the problem of Naira note scarcity without further delay to avert an uprising. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
And now in politics, President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday led other APC leaders to his home state of Katsina to canvass support for the presidential candidate of the party, Bola Tinubu. Now, Tinubu, who was overwhelmed by the crowd of supporters at the Muhammad Diko Stadium, said Katsina is his second home and one of his political bases. Abdullahi Ahmadi reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who consoled the people of the state over the recent killings of over 84 residents, condemned the perpetrators and promised to deal with them accordingly. The APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu conversed support for all the party's candidates to enable him implement his policies and programs with ease if given the mandate. Asuwaju pledged to tackle insecurity, economic instability, and revolutionize agriculture, which is the mainstay of the economy of Katsina State. The vice presidential candidate Kashim Shettima assured that the Tinubu-led federal government will treat Katsina people with utmost priority, considering the space they occupy in the political history of Nigeria. We sincerely appreciate all of you for your support to the APC. However, let me start by sympathizing with some Katsina residents who lost their loved ones as a result of activities of banditry. We will follow the terrorists to their enclaves and deal with them accordingly.
We will promise one thing and many more, that they will not win. The wicked shall perish. We will deal with them.
Governor Aminu Bello Masari and the Katsina State APC governorship candidate Dikko Rada assured that the Tinubu-Dikko administrations would ensure continuity from where Buhari and Masari will stop. Let me appreciate President Buhari and all members of his entourage who graced today's rally, and let me quickly assure that Katsina State is for APC. All the people you are seeing here will go home and mobilize their communities for our candidates. There's no cause for alarm.
APC!
Speakers at the rally told supporters that Nigeria is a great country with lots of potentials to give citizens an opportunity to live a better life, especially under a Tinubu presidency. However, many Katsina residents are saying they want nothing from the political leaders other than the security of lives and property. High point of the campaign rally was the presentation of the sum of 100 million naira to victims of banditry by the presidential candidate Bola Tinubu. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress has postponed its presidential rally scheduled to hold at Mapo Hall, Ibadan on Tuesday. Publicity Secretary of Oyo APC, Olawale Sadare, confirmed the postponement in a chat with our correspondent. Preparations for the Ibadan presidential rally of the Tinubu-Shettima statewide campaign rally, which has been changed from January 9 to February 7, 2023, was in top gear when the postponement was made. So in politics, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has assured of his capacity to end attacks which have resulted in the loss of several lives and properties in the communities in Benue State if elected. The PDP presidential flag bearer gave the assurance when he led other members of the Presidential Campaign Council to Benue State. As part of his 5-point plan for the nation, Atiku Abubakar also highlighted other areas of priority to include job creation and youth empowerment, revitalization of the rail transport system, and ending of incessant strikes in the Nigerian tertiary institutions. Now, earlier, the former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, and the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, extolled the qualities of the PDP presidential candidate and his deputy, and called on Benue citizens to vote out the APC government that has failed Nigerians.
Vote for President Atiku Abubakar and Vice President Okowa and all our National Assembly candidates on the 25th of this month. All of you know how you have suffered in this country for the last 8 years of APC.
I speak with you.
Yes.
So we, your sons, myself, Senator David Mark, Dr. Yochia Ayu, Senator Abamaru, Senator KJ, and the rest of Benue prominent sons are all together in a bid to elect our former Vice President, Alhaji Atiku Desegumuopi.
In continuation of his campaign across the country, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has visited Ilori, the Kwara state capital, where he assured of his capability to tackle unemployment, insecurity, and address other vices affecting the country. At the Metropolitan Square Ilori, the Labour Party candidate, while commenting on the scarcity of cash as a result of the change in currency, sued for calm among the people and challenged the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure availability of money to cushion the effects on people. The report.
The Labour Party presidential candidate arrived at Ilori International Airport around 2:30 in the afternoon amidst shouts of Obi from the crowd that welcomed him. At the Metropolitan Square, Ilori, a party stalwart, Aisha Yusufu, charged the youths to be ready to change the leadership of the country from what it is now to those with people-oriented programs and policies as captured in the Labour Party manifesto.
Unison 25th of February 2023. We will stand there. We will vote. We will stay there. We will defend our vote. We will not go anywhere. We will stand until our votes are counted and they hear us loud and clear.
The vice presidential candidate, Yusuf Deti Ahmed, on his part, said the previous government had pauperized the country, adding that insecurity now abounds throughout the country, and assured that Peter Obi is committed to address them all.
Obedient movement is that movement that has united the whole of Nigeria for one common goal. Peter Obi, let me tell you, Peter Obi is not just a name, he's a phenomenon.
He has character, he has competency, he has consistency, he has compassion, and then he has the credibility. And that makes him different because he is thinking out of the box, around the box, on top of the box, below the box.
In his remarks, the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi lamented the non-workability of sectors like education, agriculture, economy, and advised them to elect him as the president to fix them all.
We will secure Nigeria. Nigerians will be able to move around in Nigeria feeling secure. That's what we want to provide. We want to provide a united Nigeria where there will be law and order, where everybody will say, be proud to say, I'm a Nigerian. Not that I'm from the east or west or south, but I'm a Nigerian.
Later, while addressing newsmen in an interview, Peter Obi decreed suffering of Nigerian masses due to central bank policy on redesigning of some Naira notes and called on federal government and Central Bank of Nigeria to address the challenges facing the circulation of the new Naira notes.
One is that it's a brand new, we are preaching about a new Nigeria. It's a new government that will be run by people whose background are known, who are competent. When we say we're going to do anything, it differentiates us. We are committed to a new Nigeria, a Nigerian where we are going to remove Nigeria from consumption to production.
Obi said he is the candidate with the needed capacity, character, and most qualified to lead the country.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll bring you the protest over hike in fuel price. Details on this and more after the break. Stay with us.
Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na one man be a choice. At last, the elections are here. Let's turn out en masse on election day and vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria for a renewed hope and a better Nigeria. Vote APC, the party that shows a broom.
Security has to be an area they must work on.
We are going to have our own country called Biafra.
You are afraid to come out and move about, lest one hoodlum or the other will harm you.
People who have guns and the rest of them could be attacked. How about we, the helpless citizens?
Olo office was attacked. The ISU office was attacked.
I haven't even seen where people are going to collect their PVC for voting.
The IPOB people, they're not criminals, but they're just crying out for justice and help.
We would deploy reasonably and strategically to make sure that we decimate the activities of these bad elements who are causing problems in the land.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. And here is a recap of our top stories. 5 political parties obtain court order stopping extension of the Naira deadline. And leading presidential candidates woo voters in Katsina, Benue, and Kwara states. Now moving on to more stories, there was low turnout at last on Saturday's mock accreditation of registered voters in Plateau State. The exercise conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission is a nationwide test it's a nationwide test of the BVAS ahead of the 2023 polls. Now, Trust TV observed that the machine were swift during voters' data capture with few cases of hitches. One of the voters who was accredited at the Abbanashir ward in School Lane 1 polling unit, Kabir Saleh, said the capturing was fast. It took less than 30 seconds. Many attributed the low turnout recorded in the state to lack of adequate enlightenment on the need for the mock accreditation. But an INEC electoral officer in Jos North in Plateau State, where our reporter visited, Fred Ogboji, said there was adequate enlightenment and attributed it to misinformation by fake news purveyors.
It didn't take a minute. I came, I accredited within a minute. I'm satisfied. I'm number 11 on the voters list, as they said. There's no any cause of alarm. Anybody should come out and do that accreditation. We like this outcoming Viva voters card. I like it.
In most of the media houses, announcement has been going on for like 4 days ago. And not as at yesterday, the announcement was still on. And I personally, as a electoral officer, the 2 polling units are affected in my local government. I went to the community leaders, the Meanquas, to inform them that this is going on today. And they all promised to talk to their people to come out.
Youths in Makurdi are protesting the hike in fuel price in Benue State. The youths in their hundreds who said they have had enough took to major streets of the state capital to register their grievances. Jimmy Adzande reports.
This is not a regular day in Makurdi. The protesting youths, mostly Okada riders and bus drivers, have decided to send a message to the petroleum marketers and the government. In protest against what they describe as unwarranted pump price hike, the protesters locked up gas stations with the condition that no one buys or sells the product.
The fuel price, we don't like the way they are selling fuel in Nigeria so far. But we don't have right to go to other states. So we have started it in our own state.
It's too cost.
The fuel is too cost. 500 and you cannot buy it. Those big men now, Okadas, I'm an Okada guy, will stay on the queue. Those big men now come and buy fuel and go. You see? So now they say, we should not buy. That is the end of adding fuel that the youth should not work. We that we know what to steal, we know what to do other things. The word that we know, their hope is for us to not work. So the thing is too much. Later they will say the youth are lazy. That we can't work. See bus drivers. How much are we buying per liter? 500. In Benue State here, 450. You see, and if you take 1 liter to the police station, you cannot 500 naira fuel cannot even gauge that 1 liter.
They said though they are law-abiding citizens, they can no longer bear the pains of naira and fuel scarcity. In all the major streets in the state capital, they ensured that no one bought the product at the time of the protest.
They say they buy 450, 500 now. And they fuel man with me and the kind of man. They fuel man kind of person, 150 and I don't get out now to make arrangement, people go do protest. We're not going to fight. Our peace, our protest don't do. So make them here for us, make it put fuel down, so make people buy the fuel as we did before. We don't have issue on this cash, we have this issue on cash. You cannot get cash, even in the bank, even at the ATM. People have been going out, have been suffering everywhere. And now we've decided that, okay, since we can manage on this bike now, no movement again because there's no fuel. Even the 420 naira we will be managing to buy. Now they don't want to sell again. And we don't know their mind whether they want to increase more, and there's no money.
This stand of the protesters, some said, will worsen the hardship many are facing if the situation is not addressed as soon as possible.
And now in security, Controller Nigeria Immigration Service, Kebbi State Command, Rabi Nuhu, has handed over 3 female teenagers being trafficked to Libya to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, the NAPTIP. The comptroller said the 3 girls who were being conveyed in a commercial bus from Ondo State to Sokoto through Kebbi State were rescued on February 5, 2023, when they were intercepted at Yauri Koko border post by immigration personnel of the Border Patrol team. Rabi, who said after interrogation discovered that the victims, 17-year-old Miss Adewale Adekunle from Omorun Council of Kwara State, 18-year-old Miss Rukia Ageboye from Osun State, while 15-year-old Miss Enyin Lua Akimat were going to meet a pastor of their school, Baptist High School in Ondo, who asked them to come for a job in Libya. And lastly, from the foreign scene, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has declared 7 days of national mourning, and Syria has appealed to the United Nations for help following devastating earthquakes that killed more than 4,000 people and toppled buildings across southeast Turkey and northern Syria. Authorities fear the death toll from Monday's pre-dawn magnitude 7.8 tremor, followed by a magnitude 7.6 earthquake, and several aftershocks will continue to climb as rescuers looked for survivors among tangles of metal and concrete spread across a region already suffering under Syria's 12-year civil war and a refugee crisis. Now, rescuers searched through the frigid night into Tuesday morning, hoping to dig more survivors out of the rubble as those trapped cried out for help from beneath mountains of debris. In Syria, at least 1,300 people were killed, according to the Ministry of Health and the White Helmets Rescue Organization on Monday evening. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.